CRiiiME is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
With his classic music fan, John Shefsky.
Your voice is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Would you sing me to sleep?
I feel like I do every podcast.
I know.
I joke you to sleep.
Oh, play the music.
A lot of people jerk off. I joke off. All right, play the music.
CRiiiME
is the show that starts now.
Oh, like right now?
Oh, yeah. Do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything to me. Don't you dare.
CRiiiMEpodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send
Label
anything.
it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good.
C3 Risk and Insurance Services. Guys, you need insurance. Everyone does. You got to see our friend Joe Earl over at C3 Risk and Insurance Services. Go to his Facebook right now.
Facebook.com/C3Insured.
If you get a policy with this guy, he's going to give you a $25 gift certificate to Amazon.com, a little store you might have heard of before. Hit him up. Get the insurance. It's going to be great.
C3 Risk and Insurance Services. Welcome back to the show, everybody, and welcome today to my house. We're not even recording at the Comedy Store Dungeon. Today, we're at my home.
Why do you have to say that? It makes it sound pathetic, Slaton.
Well, we had to reschedule. We had to get around. It's not pathetic. It means that we're mobile. We move.
That's
We're
right.
like a running back, and the defense is coming in, and that's sports analogy, so you're already checked out of this
Yeah, I was
one.
already like, what? Running back? Is that racial?
Probably.
That sounds like a racist term. Let's introduce our guest and stop fucking around.
Our guest, let's see, Last Comic Standing, Conan, Stand-Up Revolution with Gabriel Iglesias.
Netflix special.
Netflix
special.
Kaboom. Put your virtual hands together for Jerry Rocha.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
By the way, this is way nicer than the dungeon. No offense to the Comedy Store Dungeon, but this is way nicer.
You like this better than the dungeon?
You have better molding.
1,000%.
It's got
We
good
do.
molding here.
We do have better molding than the dungeon.
1,000%.
And we have a dog, which the dungeon does not
An
have one.
adorable dog.
All right? Isn't he adorable?
That dog is so freaking cute.
Daniel Edgar Sickles.
Already,
So-
he's done some fucked up shit with a name like that. Geez, how many 8-year-olds this guy's jizzed on? I cannot wait for this.
This guy is sick.
Sorry, Mom. Right out the gate.
Sorry, Mom. That might have been our earliest Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, and he went after the name, not even you.
Yeah, well, I decided to be a gentleman and let Jerry just
But
riff
I mean,
that
come
name.
on, that name?
Yeah.
Forget it.
This guy goes door to door and apologizes.
The
He introduces
name isn't
himself.
even as bad as his reality.
Oh, boy.
All right, Slaton, go on with the story.
Daniel Edgar Sickles was born in New York City to Susan Marsh Sickles and George Garrett Sickles, a patent lawyer and politician.
Already a curveball. I would have assumed Alabama with that name.
With Sickles?
Yeah.
No, you can tell this guy's going to be a fine, upstanding citizen. His dad was a lawyer and his mom was a...
Was a human being.
That's always a recipe for disaster.
Oh, it's the worst. Daniel was born in 1819, but the year of his birth is sometimes listed as 1825 due to his regular habit of lying about his age.
And the records were bad in those days. You couldn't just Google them, and so he probably lied.
As a young man, he learned to be a printer before beginning his studies at the University of the City of New York, now NYU.
Oh.
He studied law in the office of Benjamin Butler, a former attorney general and co-founder of the university. He was admitted to the bar in 1846 and elected to the New York State Assembly in 1847.
Great life so far.
Yeah.
Everything sounds
Got
fine.
a lot going
Yeah,
for
how is
him.
this going to be a criminal at all?
This is how
It's so
Slaton
strange.
always sets it up. He tells us, like, he had a decent childhood and he went to college. You're like, he's going to be fine.
Well, now that okay, see, I thought this was like recent. That's why I thought the name would clearly be Alabama. But 1800s, okay, that all bets are
Could be
off.
anywhere.
Obviously, you're
Yeah,
unfamiliar with 1800s New York, Jerry.
Yeah.
I thought you did your history before coming
You don't know
here.
the New York Sickles is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Go on.
upstate Sickles.
Teresa DuPont Bagioli.
DuPont?
Bajoli, I don't know how you pronounce her last name.
You could have studied that a little.
Yeah, probably. Was born in New York City in
don't think she'll mind.
1836 to a wealthy Italian family. Probably Bajoli then.
Yeah, Bajoli. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to go with Bagioli, though. I like it better.
Bagioli's way better.
Bagioli. It also works, right? Bagioli, eh?
Her father was a respected singing instructor, and her grandfather had assisted Mozart on some of his most famous
Get the
masterpieces.
fuck out of here! Look at that.
Yeah. These people are connected.
She's bringing it right
Oh, yeah.
now,
Oh, yeah.
man. I bet things end well for her.
You know, one thing I've learned about crime is that from these stories is most of the old stories we get are
Right.
about rich people committing crimes, and you go,
Sure.
wait, there's a lot of poor crime. Yeah,
no
but
one cared about poor people.
no one wrote that shit down.
Yeah.
But if
There
a
wasn't
rich
hip
person
hop in
committed
those
crime-
days. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
poor people, it's like the old fables are always about princes.
Hip
You're
hop
like,
back then was just Irish people doing jigs.
That's right.
Do you imagine the ball busting she would give this Sickles guy though if they were fucking? Like, my grandfather helped Mozart. What have you done? You fucking loser. You know that happened, right?
Shut up, bitch. My
like-
grandfather was a lawyer.
He's like, I'm an elected official. I'm in the state assembly. She's like,
I don't give a shit. My
whatever.
grandfather helped
She ever see Mozart naked? Then you ain't shit.
You ever have Mozart try to teach you the French kiss like he did to me when I would go visit?
Was he blind or deaf, or am I thinking of Bach or Beethoven? Somebody was blind and deaf and really talented.
He was lame.
I think it was
Beethoven?
Beethoven, I think.
Mozart was lame?
Yeah, he
nah,
had-
man,
he
I
had a
heard his
limp.
music. He wasn't lame at all, dude. That shit was rocking.
she was a very bright child, speaking 5 languages by the time she became a teenager.
Look at her.
Her brother, a professor at NYU, was a mentor to young Dan Sickles.
It's coming together. It's like Magnolia. It's like that movie
I like
Magnolia.
that your
They're
fingers are
all-
doing the come together thing, which
yeah.
is exactly what's about to
I
happen.
love seeing Jerry just get excited. Like, I'm seeing where this is going to go.
People are gonna bang.
I see where this is.
Sickles moved into the DuPont family home, but he moved out a year later when his mentor suddenly died.
This is the DuPonts?
So we have Daniel
Is
Edgar
it
Sickles.
the DuPonts?
The ones that invented all the chemical
not
stuff.
DuPont, DuPont.
DuPont.
Yeah. It's
We
DA as opposed
want
to DU.
DuPont.
We
Give up DuPont.
Or Baggy Ollie,
Give up
whichever one you want to go with.
Hey, paper or plastic? Baggy Ollies over here.
In 1851, Daniel and Teresa were reacquainted. Daniel was now a state assemblyman, and Teresa, now 15, was no longer an infant.
Uh-oh, young girl.
Is that how they determined
get
it?
out of my
That was the old, if
mind.
there's grass on the field, she's no longer to be determined an infant. And then they fist bump.
You're much too young, girl.
Is she in diapers? And then she's old enough to go out on a
Look at
date.
this creep.
what was
Wait a
that-
minute. So they already killed her grandfather, right? No question.
Her brother. Her brother, yeah.
They already killed that guy, right? He probably walked in on him fucking, and so they killed him.
He's dead.
Oh no, she was a baby when that happened.
okay,
So
okay.
look, if that did happen, that's a pretty good reason for Daniel to kill the brother. Like, you
Yes.
saw me fucking a baby.
Uh-oh.
I gotta kill you so no one finds out.
This has to end.
But I don't think that's
Can
what
I just
happened.
ask for the sake of our listeners and myself?
Sure.
What was a New York like in 1850 as an American, as an immigrant, or as just someone walking around? Like, what? There weren't cars yet, right? So there's horses and carriages.
Sure.
Still probably the best city.
Some street lights. Yeah, there's still probably some good hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
Is that Gangs of New York time?
We're
Way, I think a little bit after, right? Gangs of New York was like 1700s. wasn't it?
No,
no.
Gangs of New York was
No,
1700s.
that was
18?
actually. I think this is
Is it
pre
1800s?
Gangs of New York
Oh,
time.
really?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because I think that's later 1800s.
Okay.
So what was happening? Most kids were like working in factories, Industrial Revolution style. If you were rich, your parents were like part of politics or
Sure.
owning something. Otherwise, you had like a job where you got like really dirty and it was really hot.
Sure.
Tenements, right? People smashed into little
Opium
apartments.
dens.
Opium dens.
Big time.
What did they
The-
do for entertainment? Was there baseball yet? Like, what was it going on?
There might have been some
starting, I
baseball,
bet.
probably some boxing,
What year was this?
singing. This is
Early
1850s.
Oh yeah, of
right?
course.
Oh,
Music. We're talking about
1850s.
Italian.
Yeah.
Oh, 1850s. Oh, that,
Yeah,
I
there's
think
lots of theater. and
definitely
singing.
boxing and
music. Yeah,
theater.
kangaroos
Definitely
fighting.
yeah.
Okay, go on with the story. I just wanted
nudie
to
booths.
set the tone.
Strip clubs.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper was in England killing
You know,
people.
actually, that's
Fucking
not that far off.
motherfuckers
There's
up.
actually probably a lot of brothels and that kind of those
Yeah.
the raucous good times.
Okay, good. Sounds good. A lot of syphilis on that dick of yours.
Now that Teresa was 15, Sickles was immediately taken with her, and after a short courtship, he proposed marriage.
Look at that creep. Like, whoa, somebody grew up. Like, oh,
Right? It's like those people
Jesus.
who had the Britney Spears countdown clock.
Yes,
You're
those-
like, dude, you're 40.
yeah,
creepy.
and you're excited
That
for the
is
Olsen
creepy.
twins to turn 15.
Oh, they're not even
Doesn't
hot.
matter.
That was always my thing. They're not even hot. We knew them as infants on a TV show, and then they were like these weird, like they look like Smeagol or whatever from Lord of the Rings.
yeah.
with
Golems.
blonde wigs on. No offense, they might be wonderful people, but just physically, I don't understand how anyone was that
Well,
ogling
didn't
over
one of
them.
them kill Heath Ledger and then the other one chopped off?
Oh my God,
Lance
is that what
Armstrong's
happened?
ball. I mean, didn't all that kind of happen? Like Lance Armstrong was fucking one of them. That he gets his nut cut off, and then
That's in. You know, I never
didn't
put
know
that
that.
connection together.
yeah.
How do you
and
go from
then-
Sheryl Crow, a woman of esteem and talent,
Sure.
to an Olsen? Is anyone related to the Olsens here? Am I offending anybody?
Yes, I am part Olsen.
Hashtag sorry Olsens. Go on with your story.
Despite his status and long connection with the family, they refused to consent to the union because he was 33 and she was 15.
Nice. Even back then, it was still fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
This
good.
is by the way rumored to be why he started lying about his age.
You should
Was
wait
to
till
make
she's
their
16.
thing.
I'm 24.
Exactly.
Yeah, hey, yeah.
Despite the family objections, they were married on September 17th, 1852.
Aw.
Their only child, Laura Buchanan Sickles, was born 7 months later.
Jesus Christ,
So this
she
chick
was ready
wasn't.
to go.
Yeah, she wasn't even 17. She had a kid. That's the old days, though. You're like you got till you're about 25, then you die, right? I mean,
Now,
They went further back then.
I don't know if anyone caught on to that,
That
but
was like Bible times where he
Why
made it
did-
to 25 and then he died.
I wonder
I'm
why
not
people
good at
got on
math,
board.
but all right. Anything before 1950 was Bible times in my eyes.
Why did people get on board with this wedding out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Because the baby was born 7 months later. Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding.
He's
he
already
knocked
had a little
her
bit
up.
of a mound.
He knocked her up.
Shotgun wedding.
There you go.
Oh, that must have been embarrassing. I accidentally got your 15-year-old daughter pregnant. So
But,
we must get married at
But
once.
hey, I'm only 18.
Yeah, I'll make her. What do they say? An honorable woman? When they
Look, I know I look like I'm very old. I'm 14, and your daughter seduced me. She is a
She's
vampire.
actually the old one in
he's
this.
got a gray beard, a Frederick Douglass beard. And he's like, "Listen, I'm 12. She took advantage of me.
I guess I have to be a father now.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this.
She stole my youth, man."
The Sickles quickly became a power couple in American politics.
What the fuck?
Daniel was already a New York assemblyman with high-reaching connections.
Wow.
Earning a foreign service appointment to London from President Franklin Pierce in the same year of his marriage.
Frankie P.
In the year of his marriage.
At the urging of his good friend, future President James Buchanan.
Holy shit, this guy was connected.
Oh,
Sickles.
yeah.
These people. This is the upper echelon of society. Besides the lizard people.
Trump would marry a 15-year-old, I bet.
You know, I hope so.
I bet I was thinking about that. I bet he would do that. I think he would.
I mean,
How do you marry a 15-year-old? You'd be like, "So, what's up? What are you into? You want to talk about this Salman Rushdie thing I was just reading about? Like, what are you talking about with a 15-year-old?"
what is that? A Snapchat?
You don't understand YouTube or Rihanna, dad or husband or whatever you are.
Teresa was the perfect hostess and political wife. Not only was she beautiful, well-educated, and from a respected family,
But she was super young, so all the politicians wanted to bone
Because
her.
she was just 17.
If you know what I mean. I was thinking of the Winger song. She's only 17. She's only 17.
I mean, I wish she was only 17. She's 15.
Yeah, she's 15.
Oh, fuck.
Wait,
She's only
Winger didn't do that.
She's only 17?
No,
It was
that
Winger.
was
It
Winger.
was Winger, yeah.
I thought they were the Christian
Dude,
one.
I
That
was a butt rock
Stryper.
kid, so I
No,
think
that
it-
was
I think
Stryper with the Christians, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
if it was
but-
Christian rock, I
Which
didn't listen to
statutorily
it.
creepy song was written by this band?
Well, the Beatles wrote she was just 17, if you know what I mean, and then they wink into the camera and all the audience members like, "Yeah, if you know what I mean,
He
huh?"
had 16 candles, which is even creepier.
Well, look, who other than a 17-year-old would buy those stupid bowl cuts?
Isn't 16 Candles, though, about two young lovers? It's not about the singer of the song hooking up
There's
with a
also
16-year-old.
you come on like a dream. That one, you're 16, you're beautiful,
Ooh,
and you're
boy.
mine. That's pretty.
Oh, Lord.
fucking
What was
rough.
that?
You know, in the old
creepy-
days, dudes used to adopt chicks.
Good.
Isn't that creepy? I think
Oh,
Elvis,
like Woody
like a bunch
Allen?
of people.
Yeah,
I
Woody
think-
Allen. Like Woody
No,
Allen.
no.
Jesus.
You're trying to be funny, and this is a serious
No, I'm
topic.
saying accurately.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
He
not
married his
old.
adopted child.
I'm not talking about like. Well, yeah, but there's
God,
other
guys
dudes.
not
I think
realize-
Elvis like
Forgetting about
adopted one of
that.
his chicks. Yeah, but he's a great filmmaker. Go on with your story.
Now, what if you adopt a woman who's already your wife? You're like,
Ugh.
hey, we're married. I'm
just
34.
gonna-
You're 33.
let's-
But
It does
let's
feel like that
let's
sometimes.
make this weird.
It does feel like
Yeah,
that
let's-
sometimes.
Fuck Annie Hall. You know what?
Fair
Fuck
enough.
that. You know what?
Annie
Fuck
Hall, that old milf.
Fuck that.
What was? Okay, go on.
Teresa was also politically savvy herself.
Okay, yeah, okay, right.
She
Fucking
hosted formal-
eating paste in the fucking corner.
Yeah, I've known
she's-
a few
she's
kids when
a-
I was a kid that were smart, like
find out. She's a
conniving, or
sharp
what do you
one.
call it? Cunning,
She's a sharp
cunning
one.
kids.
All
Yeah,
right, okay.
for sure.
She hosted formal dinners every Thursday and was, quote, at home, meaning available to callers from other ladies of society on every Tuesday morning.
Wow.
So she was playing the back end of all the political spectrum.
So she wasn't like the 1800s cash me outside girl. Like she was a bit.
No, she was a classy. She might have been
lady.
16, but she like knew she was working her way in the social circles.
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, she had agendas and
She was well raised.
Mozart bouncing on her lap, on his lap. She knows. She knew shit.
It was noted that she was capable of charming the most sophisticated guests
Oh,
So are we, am I right?
Hey.
Jerry Rocha, folks. Boom, boom, boom.
and making the most socially inexperienced feel at home.
Aw, look at that.
Together, they attended most of the major social events and quickly became fixtures of the political world, both in New York and eventually Washington, D.C.
She knew how to just hang out with folks and make them feel comfy. You want a bong rip or something? You're so quiet.
Don't you like my Good Charlotte posters? Like, yeah, they're great.
It was actually a poster. It was a painting of a woman named Charlotte. She was very good.
Forsooth, woman, why are these men wearing eyeliner? The devil's work, I tell you.
Those aren't vaginas. Those are penises. Those are boys.
They even became good friends with Mary Todd Lincoln and her husband, Abraham.
No.
Never heard of him.
Wow.
even though the future president was a Republican and Daniel was a New York Democrat. Teresa even attended seances held by Mary Todd, who was reportedly very interested in spiritualism.
Yeah, because her husband's gay. He's not fucking her. She had to do something.
What, is there a Lincoln gay conspiracy that I don't know about?
Huge one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So she was like, "This guy's not giving me any dick. Let me just go talk to ghosts."
I had no idea.
What
I just
else is
thought
she
he just
gonna
wasn't into her.
Why do you
had,
think he grew an actual beard?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Mary Todd Lincoln was the first beard. It's amazing for her.
Despite appearances, all was not well in the Sickles household,
No.
as Daniel was a known womanizer.
I would have never have guessed.
No, not a guy who married a 15-year-old and he was 33.
Shocking, sir.
Yeah, whoa, this took
What a
turn.
left turn. Am I M. Night Shyamalan here?
Oh, you really are.
Oh, man.
We did not see that one coming at all, man.
Most famously, he continued his fairly public affair with Fanny White, a madam at a New York brothel owner.
White Fanny.
And imagine, like, back then, there was like a 10 named Fanny. Isn't that
yeah.
amazing?
That sounds hot.
Yeah.
That's the most amazing thing about
Dude, there was a smoking Gertrude.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That sounds hot. You guys are getting me aroused. Yeah, I'm liking this old time. I want a holodeck
Oh,
in my
that
house.
Gertie can get it.
Oh, yeah, dude. Fanny?
Like, Fanny, whenever she wants.
I just think of a big old squishy tushy, dude. Right here, Fanny. I'm like,
right. But
just a pale white butt.
I mean, you're describing my butt pretty much exactly.
A female butt, big hips, not your gross little Viking ass.
I have decent hips.
He has very nice hips.
Please.
I'm sorry. I hate
Devil's
to say this.
advocate over here. I am not looking at Rich's butt. Let me
I'm
see
a
that
fan
thing.
of
I'm going to
Rich's-
make that happen.
Let me see that plump little bowl of tapioca.
Most famously, oh yeah, I already said that. Their relationship had already caused quite a stir before his marriage to Teresa.
sure.
He commonly displayed Fanny around town, once being censured by the legislature.
So he's like not even trying to hide
Not
it.
hiding it.
No,
He's like,
just,
y'all know my wife?
Look, you know she's 15.
Yeah.
I got a real chick here. That's
He's
just,
on like a
you know.
podium. America, do not tell my wife about Fanny. Check out this bod, dude. She's
Well, there was
rocking.
no internet. There was no news. He was fine.
he has campaign buttons. Don't tell
Yeah,
my wife.
Don't tell my wife.
That's
about
what he's
it.
running on.
Don't tell my 15-year-old.
It'll
about
be
Fanny.
our little secret, America.
Look, she's at home on Tuesdays. Just go there, enjoy the tea. Do not tell her about my mistress, who's right here. Her name is Fanny
Fanny.
White. Her address is 85 North Avenue.
It's on you if something happens in my marriage. It's on you.
He was once censured by the legislature for bringing Fanny to the state assembly chamber.
Bring Fanny anywhere
Bring
you
a
want.
prostitute into a.
Rumors that he had that he had
Redhead,
been funded
strawberry
by
blonde,
her, or that
little
he'd helped
freckles.
fund her brother's business, and she, his campaign, followed him throughout his life.
Oh shit.
So basically, he was like, "Yeah, elect me, state assembly. This message brought to you by these hoes."
By
such a-
Fanny and her ladies.
Do you think that?
approve this.
Do you think Hedley Lamar from Blazing Saddles was a little bit like modeled after this kind of like this character?
Had to have been. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, not Hedley. Lepetimu, Mel Brooks' character, who's the.
Ooh, I get it.
You know what I'm
see what you're
saying?
saying.
Yep.
Like the governor. Like, remember his chick with those squishy boobs?
Right. That's right.
Squishy squish.
Hello, boys. I missed you.
His marriage to Teresa did not end the affair.
Oh.
Fanny White was so angered by his nuptials that she followed him to a hotel
Oh,
and
shit.
attacked him with a riding crop.
You crazy bitch! Stay away from my family.
But this is also kind of hot, though. Please keep
they're
doing
fighting
this.
over. He's got a boner. He's like, yeah, fight over me. And then one of you sit on dis.
As I mentioned before, Daniel was appointed to the Foreign Service in London soon after his wedding. So he and his wife escaped the drama by heading overseas.
Yeah. Okay.
But she went with him overseas. She was like, all right, you know what? Let's just get out of here together.
No, that's not what happened.
What?
His wife
You
did not
fucking
go across the
asshole!
pond. Instead,
Slaton will
when he
trick
went
us
to
every now
London,
and then.
he was joined by Fanny White.
Ah, shit.
So his wife stayed home?
His wife stayed home, and when he went to be the ambassador to England,
This is basically his honeymoon.
I mean, sort of.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing his wife on his ambassadorship to London, he brought the brothel owner who he was banging.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this doesn't sit well with the 15-year-old. I'm going to just kind of put on my
yeah, I'm
little
with you on
predict
that.
the future
I
hat
just
here.
imagine a 15-year-old chick being
There's some
pretty
fortune-
bummed out. She's not
Yeah.
a mature 20-year-old that can handle this kind of news. How old is she now? Is she 16?
Or she's probably still 15.
Close. Yeah, I mean, who knows?
This all happened in 7 minutes.
Sitting there getting
You're
her
like, oh,
dry-
she's 15 and a half.
Taking her driver's exam right now. Very upset.
They don't even have cars.
Oh,
Jerry,
sorry.
come on.
She takes her horse exam.
Horse riding glasses.
Can you parallel park this horse? No one can do that. That's not possible. You don't pass.
You know, pass go.
Here.
In England,
Told you these kids don't know how to drive.
White accompanied Daniel openly to social and diplomatic events. Daniel even presented her to Queen Victoria at Buckingham Palace,
Shit.
where he introduced her as Miss Bennet of New York, using the surname of political rival and editor of the New York Herald, James Gordon Bennett.
Just to try to mess with him?
Just try to fuck
Fuck
over
with him.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
How did this chick feel about it? Wasn't she kind of like,
She does not give a shit. She's
getting
like,
paid- she's getting paid by the hour probably, right?
I'm in London. I'm banging this
Yeah.
dude. I'm meeting the queen. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care who you call me. Call me George Washington. Let's do this.
Jesus.
That's
Politics have always been evil, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
There's never been
And
a time where
prostitutes have
it's
always
not
been cool to just pay to hang out and do
Yeah,
anything you
fuck
want.
yeah.
I mean, we learn a lot here.
Everyone always talks about how they harken back to this golden age of America.
Never.
What's happening right now is more like most of American political history than the last 50 years have been
Yeah.
at all.
Yep.
It's totally bananas.
Great. We're going backwards, folks. Here, here. Cheers.
The affair ended when Teresa finally came to join London and Daniel in London a year later.
So he was in London for a year.
For a year with this
Just
chick.
partying with
Banging
this,
a
with
prostitute.
this prostitute that was just...
Well, to be fair, a madam.
A madam.
A madam. She's the head.
What if he's trying to get her Jack the Ripper? What if he's like, maybe seeing if I bring her,
Trying to
maybe,
tie it all together?
Yeah, I could get her out of the way here. I'll take her to
Why don't you
London.
walk down this street, my dear?
Jack the
Don't worry,
Ripper.
I'll be there in a second.
Jack the Ripper kills her, then everything's
honey,
You
there's
see
fine.
that
no
guy with the
lights.
top hat and the surgical equipment? Just go with him.
I bet
for a
this
minute.
guy's—he's a big spender. I bet. Yeah, you could make up the money we spent on the trip with one night with this
No,
guy.
he's got a weird smirk, but I think he's totally safe to hang out
Let's
with.
do this.
You know, Lova, there's very few lights on this dark alley you've sent me down.
It's okay. Don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Use your courage. Take this as an opportunity to get stronger.
Let your brave soul light the path.
Yeah. If anything happens, just knock him with your fanny, side to side.
In 18
me, creep! And she just knocks him. Ah! He falls.
In 1856,
That'd be a hot crime busting
Fuck
superhero,
yeah.
right?
Fanny
Just
uses
a fine
her
ass
fanny
Southern
to
chick with
get-
a big old booty that fights crime with her
Knocking the
ass.
shit out of Jack the Ripper.
Oh my god, that thing would be awesome.
great idea, man. Let's make that happen.
All right, go on with your story, you prick.
In 1856, Daniel was elected to Congress, and the Sickles moved back to Washington, D.C.,
Okay.
where their popularity continued to rise.
So we don't know what happened to Fanny though. We don't know how mad she is or not right
Not at the
now.
moment.
I don't think it matters because it's just like she was hired and she quit kind of thing. Where she's like, I'm out of here. And he's like, fine.
She just took a gig.
What I'm tripped about is his wife is young. She's 16 probably by now, right?
About right.
Yeah.
But she knows the political power of staying together. Like they've got this Clinton thing going together. It's like you guys don't even care about each
gotta
other.
Stand by him. Gotta do
But they're
this.
standing together at that age. Like nowadays, would you expect a 15-year-old to like
There's
even have
no-
that kind of
not at all.
that
There's-
professionalism? Like
No,
it's pretty
there's no
impressive.
chance.
This chick's impressive.
No, she would have gotten a baseball bat and broken the windows on his horse by now.
After
Sure,
shaving
or
her
like
head.
I keyed his BMW 7 Series and then like burnt his mansion down in Newport Beach.
They hosted many parties in D.C., and Daniel continued to build influence. While Fanny White was no longer in the picture, Daniel did not suddenly become the world's greatest husband.
He didn't.
When they weren't entertaining, Daniel's work and other interests, meaning women, kept him away, and Teresa spent much of her time alone.
So he's got this chick at home knitting by the fire, and he's out boning hookers.
Her her wheels are just spinning in her
yeah.
head.
Why did he
Spinning.
marry her if
She's
this is how he wanted to live?
concocting- I mean,
It's a good match.
I'm assuming he wasn't much of a looker. That's what I'm going to assume.
He apparently was a pretty popular
Was he?
ladies' man.
Oh, okay.
Great assumption, Jerry.
Well, I'm just saying because probably
here's
lost
the
his
thing,
mind over a
marriage
hot
at that
15-year-old.
point is like a marriage at that time is like a
fuck, no one else is going to fuck me. Might as well marry her.
it's a business decision to
Wait,
get
are you
married.
saying ugly dudes can marry 15-year-olds?
Wait a minute.
Fellas, what are we doing in this house locked away doing a podcast?
I'm going to order 75 pizzas. Let's get to this. To ease her loneliness, Teresa began spending time in the company of Philip Barton Key,
Uh-oh.
Dude, she about to get some revenge, dick.
My homie PBK.
a Washington, D.C. district attorney
Name for him.
PBK.
and son of Francis Scott Key,
Oh!
author of the Star Spangled
she's
Banner.
all about the music. She Mozart, the Star Spangled. Wow. That's the other one.
Wrong one, sorry. He's turning in his
Then
grave.
she started taking a knee and decided to do so until her husband stopped fucking other women.
Wait, how's the Star Spangled Banner go?
It's the
Oh,
shitty
say,
one.
Can you
It's a
see?
terrible
wait,
song.
Wait, I
You
said
forget
I
which
did sing
title
the
is
wrong
what?
one.
No, you're singing America the Beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
That should be the national anthem.
Oh, say,
That's a better
can
song.
you see my wife cheats on me, but I did it first, and she's only 15.
You know, I'll stand for this anthem.
Yeah, I would not take a knee at
Yeah,
all.
all the soldiers are like, I don't know what to do.
What are we fighting for?
Yeah, what are we fighting for? This guy's hooking up, she's hooking up, everybody's happy, right?
Philip had been married, but was now a widower with 4 children. He was allegedly the handsomest man in Washington.
He had to have been if some 16-year-old's going to inherit 4 ball-busting kids right off the bat. Yeah, no way.
And was known to be flirtatious with many women.
Oh.
Really? A handsome guy in Washington was known to be flirtatious with many women?
Son of an important figure in politics.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy to marry. You're going to have a great life together. He probably won't murder you or your children.
What began as innocent meetings in public soon escalated to a full-on affair.
Oh.
That's right. Fucking in the carriage.
When Daniel was away, they would have each other in the parlor of the Sickles home.
Dude, I don't know why.
Whoa, she brought the dude. He went to the house?
At
He went to the
first.
Sickle house?
Oh,
This is
yeah.
how pimping these guys were. They were like
Yeah,
going
I'll
around.
I'll fuck you in your husband's
in
house.
your husband's house, who's a prominent figure in the world.
I don't know what they're saying. Pimpin' seems quite easy, sir.
So that is correct.
It
I wonder if he
escalated.
jizzed on fucking Sickle shit.
Oh,
like
for
he
sure.
Pulled out and just splashed.
Well, you're a
all
man.
over
You
his-
know how we market territory. We're not
yeah.
cats. We can't just spray easily.
Yeah,
We got to work
oh,
for
I bet
it.
he did. Oh, you know
We
he
gotta
had
work.
to.
That's part of the laugh, right? He has a laugh
This
together.
sick- oh, is that your husband's finest suit?
That's right. I've got a lapel for him.
Give me one of his shoes so he doesn't know.
I'll spit shine them if you know what I mean.
It escalated so far that Key eventually
He
rented
comes inside the shoe, and then the husband's like, "Dude, I have to get to Congress. I'm running late." And he puts his foot in, and he's like walking.
Why am I so squishy?
What's the matter?
At the end of the day, he's like, I can't get my shoe off. Why am I stuck?
Come ain't dat sticky, bro.
And it's like a really important thing where he has to take off his shoes to meet some dignitary, and then it's like a big comedy of him like just wah wah, trying to get his shoe
and
off.
that's how Gorilla Glue was invented.
The French ambassador, why does it smell like
Yeah.
bleach?
Are you gelling? Hell yeah, I'm gelling.
The affair escalated so far that Key eventually rented a home in Lafayette Square so they could meet more often while avoiding
This
detection.
is how
was all
rich
in.
these
He
dudes
was all
were.
in.
They rented homes
House,
to
just
fucking have affairs.
16-year-old.
I can't rent a home just to live.
A smoke and a knockout.
Oh, yeah.
dude.
I'm guessing so. That's the
Damn,
word.
this guy's renting a house to fucking bang her. Jesus.
But there was a slight problem. The house was just a block away from the Sickles home.
This
he's
makes
not
me
good. He's
sickle.
not good at being discreet.
Well, she needs to be able to walk there.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
But, I mean, New York, you can walk anywhere. It's not that bad.
I mean,
Jesus.
in
That's a good
heels and a
point.
petticoat, sir?
Was it one of those like, we'll be so close, he'll never know?
Yeah,
Was that kind
it's-
of the thing? Like,
Oftentimes, the things they're hiding are right before your eyes.
yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but you know what I'm saying. And they're rich, so you just have a carriage bring her over there.
Key would stand in the park in front of Teresa's home and
jerking
wave
off.
his handkerchief.
That was his
sign. She looked through the blinds. Up, it's time to go.
Why is Mr. Key jerking off at you, honey? Oh, I have no idea, but I got to go to the grocery store. Okay. All right. I'll
She
be
comes
here.
back smoking a cigarette. Her face is all red. They didn't have avocados. Woo! I'm gonna go to bed.
People walk by, they're like, I would tell him to stop jerking off in public, but he is the son of our
He's the son of our
Star Spangled
Star-Spangled
Banner.
That's how the world turns around, folks. Got to let the prominent jerk off in public.
Key would stand in the park in front of Teresa's home and wave his handkerchief whenever he wanted to meet.
His crusty
My
handkerchief.
kerchief is in the air. Come and fuck me.
It's kind of a surrender sign, if you will.
Their attempts at discretion failed miserably,
Yeah.
and soon the affair was the talk of the town.
Of course.
I mean, their attempts at discretion. Hello!
Teresa,
Please
can you come fuck me today?
The husband's like, what did he say?
Nothing, sweetie. Yes, I will come fuck you quite certainly.
Wait, what did you just say to him?
Nothing at all, sir.
Well, I mean, I have to. It has to be soon.
No, I'm removing my petticoat right now.
What are you doing, honey?
I'm getting my coat. It's cold outside.
But you're going outside?
Yes, to feed the horses.
But it says in the paper right here that you're cheating on me with this guy.
You can't read.
Yes, I can. I'm a politician.
I don't believe you.
Well, I'll prove it some other time.
Fine.
All right.
I have a lot of. I'm almost come. Can you please get over here?
What did he say?
He said he's gonna come around back. I mean, no, that doesn't sound good at all. He said that to come down to get a note for you that says you can read.
Okay, I'll be in here. Go out and have a good time.
Hey, just make sure your jerk off husband doesn't find out about this.
What did he just call me?
He said you're great. Tally ho.
Okay, cheers, lady. Did we say that? Is that English? Did we just use English style?
Tally ho. It's 1850. They're all the same people at that point.
1850 in America. They're like,
also
all
the
right.
same shit.
No, yeah, no, they're in 1850 New York. And they're rich. They probably did talk kind of like this.
Yeah.
Very upper crust, sir.
Okay, upper crust. That sounds delicious. I'm trying to stay away from the carbs, but that sounds delicious.
Their affair was soon the talk of the town. Rumors began to circulate.
Hey,
that-
you hear about what's going on over there with him too?
I heard that they were having sex.
You believe that shit? He's fucking already. The
I-
16-year-old.
Yeah, I heard that she's out fucking other dudes and she's married.
Maybe they should go bang at the Borgata. Who knows? Inside joke. Rumors began to circulate that they would meet at least 3 times a day.
That's
Despite-
a lot, dude.
Jesus
In those days, too,
Christ.
you didn't have easy access
Even
to
now,
Gatorade. I mean,
I don't
that's-
want to fuck 3 times a day now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's no way.
I'd have
I
to
don't even
be
know if I
high
could
out
do
of
it
my
once a
fucking
day at
mind.
this
yeah,
point.
like,
Oh, you
man.
old
I'm
man.
like, dude, I got stuff to do.
Yeah, man, I got shit to do.
You just bring a vaporizer with you, take a puff, and you'll be ready to go in no time.
15-year-old and oh, God.
As soon as they start vaporizing Viagra, this universe is going to change immediately.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't even think about that.
Ooh, yeah.
Just mix it in with strains of indica and sativa, and people, boom is right.
Boom.
Boom, that's your heartbeat going through your dick.
Despite being warned by friends that this very public affair might lead to violence, Philip paid no heed.
Could you just maybe don't suck his dick in the park, like in front of everyone?
feel like
I
this
just
is-
think your husband might get upset.
This isn't going to end well.
Yeah, could you just try to do that?
Philip paid no heed, boasting that he carried a weapon in his pocket just in case.
I have a little dueling pistol here. I don't care what happens. Let your husband come find me, that queef. I'll kill him.
I'll kill him while I'm getting my dick sucked by his wife, which is kind of weird because it's like he's the homewrecker, so you think he'd at least have a little bit more respect instead of being like,
I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
But this is the kind of cocky dude we're dealing with here.
He rents a house right next door to fuck her. He doesn't give a shit.
As with all gossip, the story could not be contained and eventually made its way to Daniel on February 26th, 1859, in the form of a poison pen letter, which is a kind of like blackmail, but with no demands, just sort of an outing of information.
Okay, it's not actual
Just to hurt
poisoning.
your feelings.
Yeah.
Let's just,
Yeah.
just want to, hey, guess what?
I just want you to
limp dick?
know.
Yeah, here's guess what, limp dick.
So
letter-
the guy who's sleeping with his wife writes him a letter?
No, someone wrote it.
Oh,
someone
a random.
Yeah, someone
A-
randomly
a-
was like,
a-
hey, by the way, in case you didn't know why that guy's waving a handkerchief outside of your house, that's the come blow me sign.
It's like, by the way, a shitty Drake song is enough to please a 16-year-old, but apparently not you. That's what the letter was. Apparently not you. You're not even that good.
The letter gave details of the affair, stating, quote, I do assure you he has as much use of your wife as you do.
Oh, shit. That's a burn, man.
Right?
Damn.
As much use of your wife. Like, sir, I know that some people borrow your lawnmower or borrow a hammer
Yeah.
here and there.
Some clippers or something or some tape.
This man borrows your wife even more.
Yeah. Your most valuable piece of property, sir. Wow, this is very
You know how you use
objectifying.
your wife to make milky jizz shoot out of your dick? This man uses it for the exact same reason.
Just trying to be specific to him. Like, I don't think you get it, sir. You know
I
how
don't
your
think you understand.
you know how
dude.
your wife is your human fleshlight that needs to be fed and needs sleep?
See figure A down below.
He is the same thing.
And they have a kid too, right?
Yes,
So there's
they do have a child.
So they have a child in the mix here. What's the child doing during this? Is it just crying a bunch?
Obsessed.
Somebody
Oh,
pick me up.
Just having fun.
Is the child being raised probably by maids, right? 'Cause
Almost
this is the
assuredly.
upper class. So
Yeah.
this- Okay.
Yeah, so the child has nothing to do with it. The child's
So,
just like,
so next week we'll do the
Tell
story.
me, the kid is a bunch of Mexicans.
Next week we'll do the
fucking
story of how
raising
this
him. It doesn't
child's
matter.
crime started, right?
Yeah,
This child
exactly.
went on a crime spree. Okay.
Daniel investigated and confirmed the allegations for himself. He became very distraught.
I'm just going to go to this house next door and see if these rumors are true.
His investigation was just, he walked 10 feet, knock, knock, knock.
What do you know?
I knocked on the neighbor's door and opened it. It smelled like Badissi. Confirmed.
According to House Clerk George Woodbridge, the revelation unmanned him completely.
Oh, shit.
And his exhibitions of grief were so extreme, he had to be helped to a private chamber off the house floor.
Oh, if
to
you're that
avoid causing a
hurt, then
scene.
don't
This is
take
a-
Fanny to England
I
for
was
a
gonna
year,
say,
you
this is a
dick.
dude who's been sleeping around
Yeah,
with
come
probably
on.
hundreds of women,
Yeah.
but he's like, how could you
Well,
do
this is like
very
Tony
Mad Men.
Soprano,
It's a very
who's
Mad
like,
Men situation.
You would get it on with the priest. You bang an entire strip club.
Yep, every day.
That's what you do.
There's a weird double standard there.
True.
It's a weird double standard, dude. It's the same with Mad Men. When he's getting like just upset about her acting with other people, and you're like, dude, you're banging whoever you want. Let her do it.
It's true.
Or don't let her. Neither of you should be doing it.
Oh, you know how many times Harvey Weinstein probably talked shit to his wife about flirting? That fucking scumbag.
yeah.
That fucking scumbag. You know it. Anyway.
Daniel went home and confronted Teresa about this podcast recorded before the revelations, guys. Jerry Rocha, he's a dangerous man. Taking no risk is too big for him.
Harvey Wiener stain.
Daniel went home and confronted Teresa about the affair. He made her write a lengthy confession that was quite graphic for the era.
I want to know what he did to your pussy.
Yeah.
I want to know how he
They
ate
had
it.
fun names for it. When I stroked his love shaft, his happy sauce flew out on top of my corset.
Here you go. Here's part of the confession.
Oh, here's part of it? All right.
Yeah. Quote,
My muffin top. Okay, go on.
I have been in a house in 15th Street with Mr. Key.
The beaver was eaten twice.
How many times? I don't know. I believe the house belongs to a colored man. The house is unoccupied.
add insult to injury for for Sickles.
Couldn't you just say a man?
Yeah.
Did you have to say it was colored?
Commenced going there in the latter part of January.
Oh, that's a sign right there. We call that anal.
Have been in
You mind if I get a little bit of that latter part of January, baby?
He felced her. That's
Let me
what that
get some of
is.
that. He felched
He
her.
felched her.
Oh.
That's what that latter part of January.
This is the kind of lover that comes to your house with a suitcase with a lot of things in
A lot
it.
of stuff.
Ball gaggers, straws, and stuff I can't even mention on a podcast.
Have been in alone and with Mr. Key. Usually stayed an hour or more.
A martini glass filled with cum.
There was a bed on the second story.
A mask with no zippers.
I did what is usual for a wicked woman to do.
Boxing gloves with
Look at her
dildos.
throwing herself under the
An
boat.
intimacy of an improper kind. I undressed myself.
Oh, shit.
Mr. Key undressed also.
We should all be masturbating.
We went to bed together.
Oh, yeah.
She also confessed to having done the same thing with Key in her own home.
Oh.
Mr. Key kissed me in this house a number of times. I do not deny that we have had connection in this house. In the parlor,
this house is not owned by a colored man, thankfully.
Yeah, this brought to you by whitepeopleofamerica.com.
I do not deny we've had connection in this house, in the parlor, on the sofa.
Oh, the husband's like, the place where I drink my scotch after a long day at Congress? You busted nuts on this thing?
The days where I come to rest after a long day of banging hookers and whoever I really want while passing laws.
True.
So
You're
you
right.
do know where that stain on the sofa came from then, you lying strumpet.
You told me it was our daughter.
He's like, well, I thought that stain was from me and that one hooker. You dirty whore! I can't
How
believe you
dare
did that.
you.
He's just gonna blame it all. He's not gonna pin the whole thing on her.
Yeah,
You made me fuck hookers because I knew all along you were fucking
You were
this
gonna
guy.
do this one day.
You did this to me. You psychologically wounded me. I'm just thinking of what this guy might have said. He's a politician, right?
Philip Key was unaware that any of this had happened.
Hey, you want to come fuck again?
And on February 27th,
He's like
the
knocking
very
on the
next
door,
day,
like, what's going on while they're fighting? Hey, honey, you want to fucking
Hey,
get some of that?
wait, you guys calm down. You want to come hang out, Teresa?
You got any of that booty left over? Oh,
I don't know why
you
Key suddenly went all Bronx on everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
that'd be super funny.
I don't know why his impersonation.
Hey, come on, go.
Hey,
We'll do
what are
this.
you doing over here?
Hey,
Come
Ma,
on.
you got any of that
Hey.
good stuff, Ma?
Get over here. Fucking.
The very next day, Key
Let me get
walked
some of that
past
yum
the
yum
Sickles
box,
home
girl.
and waved his handkerchief at the window.
Nobody will know. This is very discreet.
People are going by in carriages like, there he is, trying to get his dick wet again.
He's snapping a condom back and forth. Hello.
doing nunchucks with the condom.
Yeah, come on now.
If there was any condom at that point, it was like a sheep's stomach or whatever.
Right.
It wasn't-
You're talking to two learned men. We knew that. We didn't think it was rib for a pleasure made out of latex out of a little case.
I have the lining of a goat's stomach wrapped around my cock. I'm ready.
There's a bloody goat next to him. I made it myself. It's ready for one nut.
Here's how much I love you.
I'm sure it'll work.
Oh, God, that is both disturbing and attractive at the same time.
New Sharia law condoms. They're fresh. Right
But
away.
Teresa failed to respond. He left, but came
With
back.
blue balls.
But came back 2 more times to try to roust his lovers.
Oh yeah, dude. We're men. We know when you're just like,
poor
listen,
dude.
I am losing my mind over here.
still thinking about
Yeah. I
On the-
can't think clearly. I'll make it quick, please. I'll make it quick. I promise.
On the
Don't
third
embarrass me.
attempt,
Just come inside my room. Don't embarrass me. Just
Don't
come inside
embarrass
my
me.
house right now. Just come inside my house.
Just
You
get in
want
the
to be my
carriage.
friend. You want to be my friend. I just want to be your friend. Just come inside my house. Don't embarrass me right now.
on his third attempt, everything went to shit.
Oh, no.
Daniel noticed the less than subtle signal and flew into a rage.
So he's looking outside the blinds right now, like,
Yeah.
this motherfucker, what?
He's waving a handkerchief doing the eat pussy thing.
Well, now also, like, Sickles is having this end of Usual Suspects moment where he puts
Right,
it on, he's
like,
like,
wait
this guy's been
a
waving a
minute.
handkerchief outside my house 3 times a day for
4
a
years,
year.
for a
What?
year.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
I've been plunging him for years.
Shit.
He yelled to his visiting friend, Samuel Butterworth.
That's the fakest name ever. Right? That is the fakest name ever.
It makes me hungry for pancakes, dude.
There are so many
Samuel
names.
Butterworth.
Yeah.
These are the people that founded all of our corporate stuff, so you're going to hear
I
all the
want to
names.
know what pussy Sammy Butterworth is getting, man. Let's see what kind of pussy Samuel Butterworth is
Butterworth.
getting.
Daniel yells to Butterworth, quote, that villain has just passed my house.
That son of a bitch Butterworth, I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to do it.
Butterworth tried to convince him to let it alone,
Bro,
arguing,
it ain't worth it, dude. Come on, take it from Sammy B. Take it from your boy. It ain't worth it, man.
arguing
Take the high road.
She's a 16-year-old, dude. Come on. She ain't worth all this shit.
I'll tell you an old Butterworth family adage.
The Butterworths always said.
Let players play.
Butterworth tried to convince him to let it alone, arguing that a public scene would only create more fodder for gossip. But
That's
the
good sense,
congressman,
right? That's good consulting.
Butterworth's got a head on his
yeah, no,
shoulders.
he's smarter than his name.
Butter's
Sammy
worth
B.
he's worth his salt. Butter.
The congressman would hear nothing of it, replying that the whole town already knew about it anyway.
Oh, shit.
Butterworth agreed to go
You
out.
got me there, buddy. That's my Butterworth.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
he would
Butterworth.
sound like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? Oh, well, you got me there, pal.
I like this Butterworth character, dressed up like a butler.
It ain't worth it.
He's
Trust me, there,
He's played by
boss.
Brad Garrett. Oh man, I guess you probably shouldn't do it,
Probably
but I get
shouldn't
it.
go out there and do that.
These are great Brad Garretts, by the way.
Thanks, man.
I work for Phil Rosenthal, and we're looking for a voiceover guy to finish up some of our scenes.
Butterworth
Look no
agreed to
further.
go outside and speak to Key on his behalf. Well, he may have
Let me go talk
believed.
to him, all right? There.
Oh, well, that one was pretty good, actually. Raymond.
Well, he may have believed he was keeping the peace. He actually served to keep Key from leaving. Daniel.
I wonder if Butterworth is like, hey, Key, this guy over there is calling you a faggot. Up there. He's like, to make it worse, like this guy's over here. He's saying, like he's saying you can't even fuck his wife better than he can. Like that.
Butterworth
going
is actually the
both
instigator of this whole
sides,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
him on.
Butterworth is playing both sides.
He said he wants to kick your fucking ass. Then he runs back over. He's like, he said he wants to kick your fucking
he said you're a
ass.
stupid little bitch. That's what he said.
Daniel caught up with Key in Lafayette Square at the corner of Madison Place Northwest and Pennsylvania Avenue,
I think
That's right by the president.
which is just across the street from the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He rushed at Philip and yelled out, quote, "Key, you scoundrel! You've dishonored my home. You must die."
Oh shit.
And then he pulled out a Derringer pistol and fired.
A girl's pistol.
Fucking
Yes.
Derringer,
A lady's
you.
pistol.
Yeah, he got it from one of his hookers.
Really emasculated Key with that one. Like
Then he pulled out a Gucci pistol and fired. The first shot merely grazed
Then he
Key's
hit it with a
hand,
fly swatter.
who grabbed Daniel by the coat.
oh,
with his
shit.
grazed hand? Motherfucker.
That's a tough motherfucker.
He gave
that
him the
Key.
fucking... He gave
You
him,
stained my couch. Now you stain my coat. It's too much.
Had enough of this,
that's
you.
right. Now I've got cum and blood. What, are you going to shit and vomit on this stuff?
They began to fight hand to hand. The gun fell to the ground. Unfortunately for Philip, Daniel was prepared for that possibility.
Oh shit, he was thinking 2 steps ahead.
Sickles pulled away from Key and drew a second Derringer
Don't
pistol.
do it, dog!
Oh no.
It was now time for Key to pull out the weapon he'd bragged about to his friends.
Right.
He threw the only weapon he had, a pair of opera glasses,
Wow.
which proved to be oddly ineffective.
That's, yeah, he
Oh, don't
threw-
worry. I'm gonna fuck his wife, but I got a secret weapon. All right. If he tries to fuck with me, I got some.
This is
I'll
how-
see him from a distance.
This is how I, yeah, from my
Some
seats.
opera glass.
This is how
I
helps
can
me-
take care of myself. I know what I'm doing. I got a weapon.
Did he yell opera when he threw it? He's like, opera glasses, go! Oh, that didn't work. Fuck!
Daniel pulled the trigger and shot Key in the groin.
That's the worst place
That
to
that
get
was
shot.
on purpose.
Oh, sure.
That was like,
Of
oh, yeah,
course.
boom.
Try
that
using
was,
this one on my wife again,
Yeah.
huh? You're gonna have a hard
Boom.
time with that bullet in your pecker. Speaking of Blazing Saddles, that's a very Blazing Saddles move, right?
Yeah,
Lamar got shot
right in the dick.
in the penis.
Bam.
Key pleaded with Sickles, "Don't murder me," he yelled. Which, by the way, at this point, if you've already shot my dick, I'm kind of like,
I'm dead.
Murder me.
Yeah,
Get
one
it
is
over
left.
with.
Do you have a third pistol?
Unless you still have your taste buds, right? Still eat that sushi, you know what I'm saying, dog?
Sickles ignored the request,
No
stood
sex,
over
but
Key,
you got that yellow tail, dog.
and Sickles drew out a third pistol.
Sickles was Jesus
Dude.
Christ.
Dude, he's got the strap
like
to his
fucking-
boots. He's
He's
got
an Assassin's Creed character.
He's like
Yeah.
Jim Brown, and I'm gonna get you, sucker. Just fucking just packing gun after gun. Like,
1850s Boondock Saints get up.
The gun misfired.
Oh,
As Key pleaded for his life from the ground, Sickles calmly reloaded the pistol.
Jesus,
Oh
that's
my
fucking
God.
disgusting. That's so sad.
Pressed it to the man's
Are
chest.
people standing around going like, dude, what the fuck are you
hey,
doing?
let him do it. They gotta handle their business over here.
Is that
Let
how it
him.
was in the old days? No.
Probably.
Yeah, that guy dishonored his house. Fuck him.
Aren't there any
This
cops
is
there? It's fucking by the
pre-Wild
White
West,
House.
too. This
This is 1850. This is right in the heart of the Wild West.
But it's in New York. The Wild West is all the way across the
started in
country.
1849, hence the
Yeah.
San Francisco 49ers.
This is like all the way across the country, though. We're on the East Coast right
Yeah.
now. But we're by the White House. You'd think there'd be 50 cops everywhere anyways.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know how many. I don't even know if there was a fence around the White House at that point.
probably not.
Was it just the thing that kept people out was
People
honor?
would go knocking. Hey,
Yeah.
Mr. President, may I take a shit? Can I use the White House bathroom? That's
All right, just
Come on in.
don't forget you have to flush twice.
Just use the one in the Lincoln bedroom.
Nobody gives a fuck about
Leave
that.
a Lincoln log if you know what I'm saying.
No one gives a fuck about that.
That old gay dude's bedroom. Am I right, folks? I'm a hetero president.
I'm not like this
I'm not the queer presidents, right?
little fancy
Freeing the
president.
slaves. I mean, what a gay thing to do, right?
Sickles calmly
You're like annoyed with the president. You're like, can I just use the shitter? No, have a seat.
Let me hear you rant
Have a
about
seat.
Lincoln. This
He's like
son of a
slowly
bitch.
packing a bowl. He's like, I just smoke a pipe for a second. I just gotta take a dump real
Gotta
quick.
take it up like bad.
Yeah.
So this guy's begging, and Sickles is just like,
just kicking it, reloading the pistol.
Taking
Also,
his
it takes
time.
a
a
while,
fucking
too.
psychopath. That's a psychopathic thing to do. Someone's pleading for their life, and you're like, nope, violent conflict resolution is the only option here. And they're saying, please don't kill me. You can't just have a conversation with them.
This time, Sickles calmly loaded the pistol, pressed it to the man's chest, and fired.
oh,
This time, the gun worked, and the shot was fatal.
oh.
Jesus
Not satisfied with his
Christ,
work,
Slaton.
Sickles reloaded again,
This guy is making me sickles to my stomach.
put the pistol to
This is
Key's
horrifying.
head, and pulled the trigger one more time.
Wow.
But again, the gun misfired.
This is a fucking lawyer. This is a guy, an upstanding member of society, meeting kings and queens and presidents and all this shit. This is how he's slowly killing someone.
So he takes his fourth gun, I'm assuming.
No, reloaded the third. He only had 3 guns.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's not an animal. He didn't carry 4 guns. What is he, a peasant? No, he's a good man. He's an upstanding citizen.
Gentleman.
Yeah, with 3 guns.
So the brain shot misfired.
Misfired.
Oof,
Yeah.
man.
By this time, the
But he
commotion...
already killed him. You said it was fatal.
Yeah. But now
He's insult to injury, man.
he's like, no. I really want to fuck you up.
yeah,
even though
this
he's
is-
dead.
Yeah.
I think it's more
So
of
he's like a
message.
little-
You've never
like-
shot someone in the head after you've already killed them?
No.
Yeah, come on. I think it's more of a message.
I don't even know if
to-
you're an American, really.
Yeah, come on. No one better fuck my 16-year-old.
Yeah.
That's what this is what happens.
It's so weird. It's like,
How do you defend your 16-year-old child bride?
If this guy had a clean rap, you could be like, all right, well, you know, like he's an impassioned man, but you're also just like, this guy is a fucking douchebag himself,
yep.
and he's judging this guy with the fervor of the Bible.
I hope that to make up for the misfire, he just has no other recourse and just starts doing Hulk Hogan leg drops on Key, just over
picks up his
and
dead
over
body.
and over again.
Well, he did a flare chop with a bullet.
He
So
runs
yeah,
over
why
to a
not?
tree, hits it on his back, and does the people's elbow.
Yeah, it just sits there, and does it, boom.
He's trying to lift up the dead body for the pile driver. Get over here! Get over here! Snapping his neck, trying to lift him.
God, I thought all that banging would have given me better abs, but no.
Actually, my quads are sore from having sex yesterday with a hooker. Oh.
By this time, the commotion had drawn a bit of a crowd.
Where's his wife? I almost said his daughter. Where's his wife while her lover's being fucking
Where's his
murdered?
wife, daughter?
His wife, daughter. His
Probably
daughter
back
wife.
in the house, I think.
Does she know that her lover's being murdered?
I don't know where she is,
She probably doesn't
actually.
even care. She's probably
Wait a
dead
minute,
inside.
fellow. Look what's happening outside the White House. This gent is just stone cold stun a dead man for the 3rd time in a row. What's going on?
He's not tapping out, folks. He's still going.
he just lays down over his body. Someone calmly walks up, slams the ground 3 times. Victory!
He doesn't have much to say about this loss.
Several men picked up Key's body and took it to a nearby home.
What,
where he
did they
soon-
scoff at fucking at Sickle? Or they're like,
Well, he wasn't dead yet, actually. Took him to a nearby home where he soon died.
Oh, okay.
So it was a fatal
Figured he was
wound, but he
dying,
was like
yeah.
bleeding
yeah, you
out.
knew it's fatal because you learned in the hindsight. But
Sure.
at the time, they were just like, he's been shot. We should try to save him.
Daniel stood in the park and watched them leave, mumbling over and over, He violated my bed. Which, to be fair, he violated your couch, not your bed.
Yeah, your
Let's be
couch.
honest.
Come on.
He violated your parlor.
I've never even gotten really that upset at all about any. I have cats, so I mean my furniture's always getting messed up. But
Exact, same here.
And
Yeah.
I've allowed friends since I was a kid to have sex in my bed. If I was, we were having a party, like of course you can sleep in my
Have
bed.
fun.
And I've had
Yeah.
sex in other people's beds. It's really not that big of a deal,
Sweet.
right?
I agree.
Right? That's what I would
Just-
say. If in
just
court-
strip the bed. That's
if
all
they
I-
had me
that's
as
all
a
I want.
witness in court as a psychologist, I'd be like, just in all fairness, like we've all had sex in other people's beds, right? So like, just chill out,
Big deal.
right?
Daniel immediately went to the home of Attorney General Jeremiah Black,
That's a very smart thing to do.
confessed to the murder, and turned himself in.
Okay. At least he's got somewhat of a soul.
At the same
Not much.
time,
He probably did it smart.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
at the same time, his good friend and now President of the United States, James Buchanan, received news of the murder from his young page, J.H.W. Bonnets.
Now I'm sure James Buchanan.
Oh, he was just doing the right thing on paper, but he knew the press was going to take care of him.
We will see.
I'm sure James Buchanan would take the high road and be a responsible adult about this.
I hope so.
The young man Bonnets had witnessed the crime happen. Buchanan misunderstood the young man's story, assuming that he was the only witness. In an effort to protect his friend, President Buchanan
Fucking lied about a
lied to
murderer?
Bonnets and told him he should flee town. Otherwise, he might be jailed without bond as a witness to the crime. He gave
So
the young man some
president
money.
gave him fucking legal advice to get the fuck out of town. Wow. How crazy that to get out of Dodge. Listen, I love you guys, and if any of my friends are listening, like I love you too, but like,
And if you
don't
murder
someone, yeah, like I don't care how much power anybody has, like. Don't come to me and tell me you murder them. Like, it's one thing if you kill someone in self-defense, but you fucking just killed someone out of passion and lack of self-control.
That's right.
I'm not going to tell you, like, don't worry, buddy, we're going to get you through this. I'd be like, oh, fuck, dog. Why'd you tell me?
If you murdered someone, just email crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, dude, you're going to regret that shit, Slaton. Don't you dare. Fucking, don't you guys email that. The only thing you should email is pictures of your butthole for Slaton to look at.
Dick pics for Shefsky.
No, thank you.
President Buchanan told Bonnets he might be jailed without bond as witness to the crime. He gave the young man some money and put him on the first train out of town.
What an asshole.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
What a great friend, though, right? You're like, that's
Hell of a friend.
That's your boy.
hell of a friend.
He's
Hell
a
of a
president,
friend.
too.
Asshole of a president.
Asshole of a president. Yeah.
I don't know much about him as a president, but
Tremendous
now I
friend.
just a character judgment where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
But a tremendous friend.
This was only the beginning of the special treatment afforded Daniel in his days to come. As you might expect, his jail stay was unique. He was permitted visitors,
Prime
and much
rib.
of the D.C. upper class turned out to visit.
Did he get hookers in there too?
Oh, I'm sure his jail was
I'm
probably
sure.
Franny's brothel. Like, we're
Yeah,
thinking
right?
Fanny's place.
That actually might be better, like because you don't
Yeah.
have to work and you're like, well, I'm just here. No one can.
Here
I can just
getting
order
laid.
hookers and probably have. A bunch
You
of
know, I am
steak.
dehydrated. That's the one problem I'm starting to experience.
No, I'm sure they have a bunch of water for him.
Senators and congressmen stopped by to wish him well. The traffic was so heavy that he was given use of the head jailer's apartment as a place to welcome his guests.
Jesus Christ.
The head jailer.
You know what? It's such an awful. That saucy fellow defiled your bed. You did the right thing, good man.
I've been giving it a lot
We're
of
here to
thought. And
visit you.
it's a shame that you're sitting here in prison. That man should have lived to see the suffering of prison himself.
did the right thing.
While the president did not personally stop by, he did send a note. Even more insane,
Stay up, playa. Was all it said.
Daniel Sickles was allowed to keep possession of his personal weapon while in custody.
What the fuck?
The evidence, the gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the dumbest. Oh my god! Just because they know the president.
He's
By the
a-
way,
well, he's a
Sicky,
gentleman.
if you want to shoot your way out of this prison, here you go, my man. Go for it.
Do you guys think politicians have come a long way since this? Or you think it's
Probably not.
Yeah, they're totally different, bro. Nothing the same at all.
Yeah, nothing to say at all.
Here's your gun, and here, this is our standard cake with a file in it, if you want one of those too.
Oh, dude, I love cake. I'm diabetic, but I'll take the file.
News of the murder quickly became the biggest story in town. It was all anyone could talk about. Newspaper editorials were written, asserting that the murder reflected the moral decay of society and the increasing lawlessness of Washington, D.C. Sickles was indicted for murder, and the trial began on April 4th, 1859. It would be one of the most controversial trials of the 19th century.
So he was OJ of his time.
Oh, there's so many OJs of their time.
Yeah.
That's-
But of his time, yeah.
yeah, but of 1859,
He was
yes.
the OJ of 1859.
I remember where I was just asking before. I was like, "What's their entertainment?" I was like, "They go to
Trials.
They go to the opera. They watch boxing and trials.
Trial, yeah.
Yeah, it's gossip, right? Did you hear? Did you hear about the
He
Moida?
really did.
Daniel hired 8 of the country's most prestigious lawyers for his defense, including Edward Stanton, who would later become Lincoln's Secretary of War.
Eddie Stantz.
That's what they called him.
That was his nickname.
While Sickles had the best of the best for his defense, the prosecution was ill prepared for this kind of trial. The problem was that the current DA for Washington, D.C. was the murder victim himself, Philip Key.
What the fuck? Wait, he was supposed to be the DA.
Philip Key is
but
the
he's
head
dead.
DA for Washington,
The
D.C.
judge is like with the gavel, like, "Are you in attendance, sir?"
Well, fuck. I guess you can go home. They get no DA.
They have
Shit.
a weekend at Bernie's. Like 2 other prosecutors are holding up with his hand up, and like, "Your Honor," like moving his mouth.
Blood.
I want murder. Yeah,
Blood pouring out of his chest.
maggot falling out of his ears.
Weekend at Phillies.
Yeah.
Weekend at Phillies. Oh,
As luck would have it, the responsibility of appointing a new head DA for Washington, D.C. fell to the highest ranking official in charge of the city,
it's your 16-year-old wife.
President James Buchanan.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, so his homie. Oh my God. It's like you'd be crazy not to commit a murder with those kind of hookups, right? You'd be
Yeah,
like, I
no
got
shit.
to be in this
No
position.
Despite objections from the Key family, Buchanan appointed Robert Ould, an inexperienced lawyer who did not have the training to handle such a complicated
Did he
case.
purposely do that? Thinking like,
I'm
that
thinking.
way-
So
Yeah.
Robert Ould was probably like the TV lawyer of his time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know, like one of those guys. He's like, yeah, this guy, we'll get him. Watch out. We got Old on you.
Did Old know that he was the dummy? Was he just like, am I the dummy here? Or was he like, honey, I got the biggest gig
Oh
of
my God,
life.
I'm going to put this guy behind bars for life.
No more chasing ambulance carriages. I'm
It's the
working
Windy
with...
City heat of lawyers.
Yeah, he's fully convinced. This is going to make me or break me, and I got to study
I
up.
did it.
This should have been an open and shut case. Not only had Sickles stalked and killed his victim in front of the White House, but he had confessed to the crime.
Yeah.
But this
What else
was-
is there?
But this was no ordinary trial. It was a spectacle. The courtroom crammed with people eager to see the drama unfold, with even more people crowding around the windows just so they could catch a glimpse of the proceedings.
Wow.
Boring ass life, huh?
No
I'd be like,
shit,
yeah,
before
who cares?
YouTube. Who gives a fuck
I knew
about
they were
this?
like, yeah, everybody's like going for it. Like,
Well,
no,
then your
please.
other option is to actually watch paint dry.
Yeah.
Like, this is pretty cool.
He's friends with the president. Gee, you think he's going to get out?
Gould began to crumble under the pressure, especially when confronted with Sickles' all-star legal team and the brand new, never-before-seen defense strategy they were about to unveil.
The race card.
Yes.
The race card.
Well, I am white, but I'm a different white. Ah.
look how tan I am. I feel like I'm treated like a Negro regularly.
The defense team argued that while it was true Daniel had shot and killed Philip Key, that
It is true that he did commit cold-blooded murder.
he was not guilty of murder by reason of temporary insanity.
Oh, that's where this started?
The dumbest
Wow,
claim
the
ever.
weakest claim
How could you
of
claim
all
that?
time.
It's so
first ever.
convenient. How could anyone take that seriously?
I'm good now, though. No, I'm good now.
Oh no, fine. I'm safe for society now.
Week and a half ago. Whoa, shit, I was a mess.
I don't know what I did. To be
Have you
perfectly
gone
honest
to
with you.
therapy? Have you gone to therapy?
Oh no, only if you have full-time insanity. I had temporary insanity. It's gone
You
now.
don't think it'll ever come back?
It'll never come back. No, it was the one time.
And if it does, it was just temporary.
It's only temporary. I mean, anybody could get it, but I don't think it happens very often, and I definitely won't get it again. I'm fine.
good.
I could be back to work by Monday.
While the insanity defense on its own had already been well established in American courtrooms, the idea of temporary insanity was brand new. There was no precedent for what the defense
These fucking
called.
assholes, they created this lump of shit argument. Oh my God.
And people are buying it?
Well, hold on. There was no
Yes,
precedent
sir,
for what the
Mr.
defense
Slaton,
called
sir.
an irresistible impulse. Stanton argued that Daniel had been driven mad by his wife's infidelity and
that
had
bitch,
acted
it's on
in
her. It's on her. It's always her fault.
He'd acted in, quote, a transport of frenzy that could not be stopped.
The choo-choo of insanity is coming right. He was,
Did anyone in the jury go, is this guy for fucking real? Come on now. This
he
guy
was the
shot him.
engine, he was the cabins, and he was the caboose of this insanity
He was on a
train.
mad horse. He couldn't control it. That horse was just
Going
himself.
off the rails of an insanity temporary train.
The defense team. The defense team also used Teresa's confession to their advantage. While it was ruled inadmissible in court, they leaked it to the press, and the fool, tawdry confession made it into all the papers.
Dude, so can I just interject?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is to anyone listening. We've always been dumb. Quit saying that we're getting dumber and dumber with Kardashians and Trump. We've always been
We're actually the
stupid.
smartest we've ever been.
Ever.
The highest literacy rate in world history.
If this shit is happening back then, we've always been
It's
dumb.
always been a bunch of dummies.
Yes, it's always been more.
This was the bad YouTube. This is the Segway crash YouTube
You know,
videos.
I've said this a lot of times, but the
I
reason why
love.
we think that, well, not on the show, but in general,
As a dummy, I will be the first to say I love a good Segway crash video. Go on, Slaton. Compilations are the best. Just a recommendation for our audience. Go on, Slaton.
we think
But Slaton, stop and let me tell them more. I'm just joking. Go on, Slaton. Yeah! I'm just joking. Go on, Slaton.
we think
No, please
everyone
go.
from the past is super smart because we only have the writings of the smart people.
Of the best of the
We
best.
don't have like the Snapchat video equivalent of some
Yep.
idiot from 1859.
Right.
And if there was Snapchat back then, it would be way worse than
Dude,
now.
if you think blogs are dumb now, imagine if everyone was blogging back then.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, how horrific that would be.
oh, it'd be horrific. It'd be the worst thing ever.
Yes.
It'd actually be fun to read. I'm just
It
saying.
would be fun to
Right?
read, definitely.
Think of World Star 1776
Oh, that'd be
and then tell me that everything was super dope when this country got
Yeah,
founded.
that'd be
Enough.
great. What would be a sketch on World Star 1776? Not a sketch, but like one of the videos. What would they catch? Like the two chicks fighting, but like they'd be pulling off like those weird wigs that people used to wear, those colonial wigs.
There's people shooting people in
Fucking
the face.
hell! And then you see the camera shaking and see the wig get pulled
I guess
off,
the
and then a musket.
There's powder everywhere.
A musket shooting.
The little person fights would be imps born of the devil that do battle. Like that'd be the name.
The crowd would just be
Imps
"Whoa!"
born of the devil's seed who curse their family do battle.
I do say this is preposterous.
The confession became the main topic of conversation in Washington throughout the trial. The papers were sympathetic to Daniel's plight and drummed up support amongst the people of the city.
Even the papers?
Because he probably got them all pussy. Right?
That's a good point.
All the journalists just got their dick sucked 24. This guy was... They're just fucking... They love this guy.
It's just a
good
homeboy
news.
network. It's just a giant homeboy network.
Yes.
I've invented a time machine to take us back to 1859, and we all know how to write. So let's go get some payoff blowjobs.
Yeah.
Do you think our wives would care if we got some payoff blowjobs if we're like, where's the time machine?
Point too, like it's kind of the opposite of that movie Idiocracy. If any one of us went back in time to that, we would be like Stephen Hawking level geniuses. You know what I mean?
We actually might be in danger from being like that. They might want to burn us at the
They
stake.
would kill us because we'd be too smart. They must be right. Like
Yeah, but then we go back to Greece, and we're like, hey, I know how to, I know what the internet is. They're like, do you understand Pythagorean's theorem? And we're like, no, none of us paid attention to math class.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're also dumb.
I'm just here for some falafel and some of these greasy, hot Greek chicks,
I bet the
dude.
pizza was the best in 1860.
I bet it was, dude. I heard that the wait. Oh, yeah. The pizza in the 1860s?
The papers
Big fan.
painted...
New York's water was even better back then. The dough was amazing, kid. You got no fucking clue. Best pizza in the
weren't
world.
dumping no toxic shit in here.
Oh, no. It's the best. And the ovens were so fucking nice, eh? Oh, the traffic was no bad, you know? You tell a taxi driver, they go over there, they take you in the car. You know what I'm saying? You get a
Hey, you know what
dog.
else? Those taxi drivers know fucking English.
The papers painted Daniel
They still didn't pick up black people, though.
as the true victim who was merely defending the honor of innocent women from a lustful villain.
What do they call that? Spin?
What?
They put a spin on it. That's a spin. There's so many, like, this is like the stuff we see all the time nowadays, but like this is the classic version of pleading insanity, fucking putting spins on things.
This is like...
Turns out he's the victim.
They brought out every trick in the
Oh,
book
yeah.
for this.
They invented every trick in the book for this.
That is, man.
It's crazy.
I mean, really, look.
They
this
declared
guy, I mean,
that-
come on. This guy's fucking a 16-year-old. You want him out on the streets? Come on. That's probably what they said. Do you want him out on the streets? This guy he fucks 16-year-old girls. We got to kill him.
Yeah,
This guy who's married to the
now this other guy
16-year-old.
does he also does it, but it's fine.
But it's his wife.
because the church says it's
What you
okay.
have to understand here is what property is. Okay, this is his wife. All right, you use my toaster, that's kind of weird. But if I use my toaster, not a
Hey,
problem.
man, that's
You
my
get
life.
crumbs
My
all up
toaster.
inside my toaster. Just I don't want your crumbs in my toaster.
We should be applauding. We should be applauding
hero.
Sickle because he ridded our society of a real
Of
perv.
a monster.
They declared that he was in fact a hero for
See,
quote
I fucking told you these people were psycho.
for quote
Not
saving
like nowadays
all the
where we're
ladies
really
of
smart, critical thinkers in this society, right, guys?
for saving all the ladies of Washington from this rogue named Key.
Oh, dude, he didn't.
And
Live
look, his father, okay.
he didn't live to hear his
Great
name.
songwriter. But
Seriously.
holy shit, the apple fell far from the tree.
To be fair, the song's a little long. but
see?
this man killed
And there's that extra verse that we're going to get rid of all about white supremacy that we'll have to...
Not a big deal.
we're gonna have to,
On April 26th,
was just getting some tang. Then he heard a loud bang. It was a bullet in his cranium.
Mike Pence just turned off our podcast. He's very upset about it. Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, dude.
On April 26th, 1859, the defense finished their arguments, and the jury went to their chambers to deliberate.
And then in the chambers,
In
the
less
jury
than
realized.
an hour,
Less than an hour.
they returned with a verdict
Guilty.
of not guilty.
shit.
Of
I thought it
course,
was gonna be
these
guilty.
fucking assholes.
This is the first successful use of the temporary insanity defense.
who were the jury? Did you do any research there, Slaton? Do you know who the jury people are? I'd love to see photos of these assholes.
Yeah, they were all 16-year-old boys.
They're like, yeah, dude, he got his fuck on.
fuck,
and he had
and
this
he-
cool
and he fucking killed a
guns.
dude like a
He killed a
badass.
fucking dude.
Dude, he put a gun right to his chest as the
Dude,
guy was
fucking
begging for his
pulled
life. He
the
shot him in the
fucking
dick.
trigger.
Then he shot him in the heart.
Fuck yeah, high five.
The moment the verdict was announced, the city of Washington broke into massive celebration,
What? They were proud
celebrated?
of this?
including a parade led by the U.S. Marine Band down Pennsylvania Avenue.
We ridded the world of one crazy. How this poor fucking dead dude was just like, yeah, I was having an affair, but like, I got shot in the balls, the chest, the head.
Just don't wave a handkerchief in the middle of the fucking street, you dick.
No, I'm not saying he was an idiot, but is it worthy of the death penalty?
One juror, a William Hopkins,
Billy
told
Hobbs.
Billy Hobbs
Old Billy Hop.
told the newspapers, quote, I would not have been satisfied with a derringer or revolver, but would have brought a howitzer to bear on the seducer.
Oh, that scoundrel of a
I
man.
can't believe they fucking made this guy turn out to be such a hero. And
Well, this
if
guy's-
only they could make a gun that shot rapidly with something that could launch a sort of portable bomb at the bottom, I would have shot that at him.
If we
And
could
I
have
would-
lined up and shot his dick as a society. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4.
I would have said, hey, say hello to my little friend, you child fucking monster, and shot him.
And then I would have seen that child and been like, oh, she's 16.
I
She's
get
pretty
it.
hot.
I
Yes,
get
I
it.
see where he was going with it.
Okay,
Milady, are you interested in maybe a little drink afterwards?
Since your husband's kind of easy.
Just turns into like just a pile of people shooting each other.
The public agreed with Hopkins and prepared to welcome Daniel back to his proper place in society until he did the unthinkable.
Uh-oh.
He forgave his wife.
Oh, no.
No one could understand why he would forgive his evil adulteress of a wife, and the entire country turned on him.
Oh, so the country basically through the media, they had their exact idea of how this whole thing should be and how it should work out, and he didn't follow protocol. So they were like, his wife's a whore,
Yeah.
and this other guy deserved to die for
Right.
luring his wife out, and that Sickle is like the hero here because he's just a man that got taken advantage of by both a whore wife.
I can't believe this. Temporary insanity. No, it's full-on insanity if he's going to forgive that strumpet. Right, that had to have
That's just
been-
a guy reading the paper finding
Yeah.
out like he's forgiving the whore.
Yeah, every American must have. That was their
You can't
reaction.
forgive the
How
whore.
dare you?
Doesn't she get a little leeway? She's fucking 16. She's gonna make a few errors along the way. Give her a break,
Fucking-
right?
Everyone turned on him. The public, the newspapers, his friends, even his colleagues in Congress. The
Hey
public
man, the House
backlash-
always wins though. Fuck you for being a murderer.
The House of Congress.
The public backlash was so negative, he eventually withdrew from public life for a short time.
But not for being a murderer. He wasn't hounded for that. He was
Yeah.
hounded
No.
because he didn't do
'Cause he
exactly what
forgave her.
society thought he should
Yeah.
because he showed forgiveness. Great morals. Great
2
moral
years
society.
later-
1850s. I wish I could go back there and just tell him real quick, like a time machine, just like a quick, like we could yell something and everyone would hear it. Like it would come through the sky like God. Like, great morals, you fucking dummies.
You
And then I'd be gone. They'd be like,
asshole.
what was that? I'd be like, I don't know. And we never heard it again.
That ends up being the basis of our society from now on. 2 years later, the Civil War broke out.
We had sound time
That's
travel.
right. That we had that whole Civil War thing.
I heard of
yeah.
that. Seeing an opportunity to fix his reputation,
Never heard of it.
Uh-oh.
Sickles raised a contingent of men from New York and organized them for battle.
The dick shooters, follow me into battle. We aim for the middle.
Those disgusting slave
We
keepers
might not win-
won't expect this.
We may not win the war, but they will not have a second generation, I'll tell you what.
That's right.
Those redneck slavers have never gotten one in the nuts. Come
We're
on,
playing the
fellas.
long game.
Yeah, let's
Take
get
my
this.
derringer to his dinger.
President Lincoln was so impressed with his patriotism that he guaranteed Daniel a position after the war.
Look at that.
Again, Sickles benefited from his connections and quickly rose up the ranks to Major General, where he proved to be as reckless a leader
Major
as he was a
asshole.
lover.
Just shoot him in the dick. How do you not? Why are these Confederates whooping our ass today? Just shoot him in the dick. Jesus.
At the Battle of Gettysburg,
That was a big one.
Semper Fi in the middle eye.
Daniel ignored the commands of his superior officer,
Oh,
moved
dude.
the Third Corps a mile forward from their assigned position.
What a fucking asshole.
This weakened the Union line and is blamed by some historians for the bloody losses suffered by the Union Army.
This guy is just a piece of fucking walking garbage, and he already proved to society that he's a
Do
danger.
you think Lincoln
and then he
knew
got
this
more
and
power.
was like, I know how to get rid of him. Just here's what we're gonna do.
We have to sacrifice 1,000 men,
We're gonna
but we will finally.
we will get rid of this guy.
Daniel did not, however, escape unscathed.
Oh.
He was hit by a cannonball and his right leg severely damaged.
no, he's in a pool. He's fine.
How?
He was just
how
swimming, and
lucky
someone
was
jumped
that?
off the diving
Wait
board.
a minute. He got hit by. It didn't go off. He
No,
was like,
I mean they don't explode.
They don't
They're just a
explode.
ball of
just
metal.
boom, and it
Just
just
heavy-
smashed him.
It's like a giant bullet, basically, flying
just
through the air.
smashed him in the leg.
Yeah,
Which is pretty
Just
bad,
fucked his
though.
leg up.
He was like that old guy who took it in the stomach. Right? That famous old video. Remember
Oh,
that
yeah,
famous
yeah.
video? That was just him.
Always
Wow.
one to maintain appearances. Sickles smoked a cigar and grinned on the way to his amputation.
Oh my god!
What a dick.
While the injury may have ended his military career, he considered it a badge of honor and donated his shattered leg to the cannonball that took it
Smithsonian or what?
to the National Medical Museum,
Oh, I was thinking Smithsonian. That's where I always hear that they.
where he is reported to have visited his limb regularly on the anniversary of its amputation.
Like,
This guy
you mean
is
as a
fucking-
ghost? Are you talking about as a ghost, or are you just?
No. Where he would go back and be like,
Today he will still go
he
to the
still goes-
Smithsonian.
No. He, as an alive person, every year on the anniversary of losing his leg, would go back and say like, "Hello, leg. It's good to see you. It's been a while."
Like people would gather around and be like, "That right there? That's my leg."
Yes, it literally. Yes.
Gather around. Let me tell you a story. You there,
Specifically.
15-year-old girl?
Two things.
Are you single?
Come here, 15.
You ever seen a leg like this?
Shot a guy in the dick. Shot him in the heart. Cannonball took my leg.
Honey, I still have 2 legs left, if you know what I mean.
After the surgery, he immediately rushed back to Washington so that his version of events would be the first one to hit the papers.
Oh, yeah, he knows about spin.
His version, of course, painted him as the hero of Gettysburg. The story spread, and he experienced a resurgence of popularity in Washington.
Wow.
This, along with his friendship with the Lincolns, helped protect him from a well-deserved court-martial.
Dude, this guy's just got homies that are presidents, so he just does whatever.
After the war ended, President Andrew Johnson kept Lincoln's promise, and Sickles served in a variety of positions in the government over the years.
He knows AJ.
This guy always had a job. Mm-hmm. This Sickle guy always had
That's
a
why
gig.
I tell you, every now and then, Jerry, I start thinking,
In
the devil runs this realm.
1865.
Yes.
The devil runs this realm.
We're already in hell.
So many of these criminals lived long lives too. You're like, they
This isn't the
murder
good
and
place?
rape and they pillage. Huh? I mean, it's good for some of us, but still, you still have to wonder. It's a little tricky.
Jesus Christ.
In 1865,
I'm
he was
still
appointed...
amazed that I thought cannonballs blew up, by the way. Let's get there. For some reason.
You know what? You're right about people always being dumb, Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, here I am thinking cannonballs blow up. That's my fucking...
Cars don't run on magic?
They seem
What?
like, you know what? In all fairness, cannonballs do seem like they blow up because in any kind of movie with ships, when they fire them,
There's
it
always
seems
a
like
big
it's like
explosion
when it hits.
But
And
it's
maybe
really just the cannonball ripping the thing apart.
Well, also because those ships are usually filled with gunpowder used to fire cannonballs.
Sorry, the fucking representative from Mensa over here trying to condescend to 2 of us and maybe some of our audience.
No, he's not wrong.
I turned them down because they were just too low for me.
Guys, you can send your IQ
Those men's
scores to
idiots.
Rich Slaton at.
Men's assholes. In 1865, he was appointed the military governor over the Carolinas during Reconstruction. In 1867, Teresa died of tuberculosis at the age of 31.
Oof.
Bye,
man.
Teresa. That was
That
NWA.
guy was like, he was like, yeah.
He was like, "Hey
He was
guys,
like, I'm
I know it's
back
really
on
sad.
the block."
Like, on the one hand, my wife is dead. On the bright side, she was over 30.
She was,
and so
now my kid is 15 and they've got friends.
Oh, yeah. Have him over for a sleepover there, little feller.
in
wanna sit on my thumb?
1869, he was appointed the U.S. minister to Spain, where he
pulls
met
his
and
fake
married
leg off, it's got a
his
dildo.
second wife in 1871.
Oh God, who is this?
She was 12.
Pablo Picasso's 2-year-old daughter.
He was forced to resign the commission in 1873 after his steamy affair with the now deposed Queen Isabella II.
that one. Holy shit!
This dude is getting his dick royally wet. That's a gilded
Led him to
dick.
send inaccurate and emotional messages to Washington promoting war with Spain.
Wow.
Wait, after the... Wait,
So the Queen Isabella is deposed,
what's that mean?
like kicked out of being queen.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
no
I knew
longer
that.
queen.
And
joking.
he's banging her.
Yeah.
And he's the ambassador to Spain.
Yeah.
And so he starts sending letters home being like, guys, we need to go to war with Spain.
Fuck these people.
Because while he's banging her, she's like, hey, can we go to war with Spain?
Yeah, basically.
He's like, because I'm going to war with this pussy, and I got to tell you, it works out pretty well.
It ain't that bad.
That's right. Skeet, skeet, some of them cannonballs, dog, they don't even explode.
If I were him, I would have
Just
told her I
roll-
wrote a letter back to the U.S. being like, telling him to go to war. And I would have sent a second letter being like, hey, ignore that other letter. I'm just trying to get some bay.
Trying to get some pussy.
I just
Yeah.
wonder how much of history and how much of the stuff we find out that have affected not just millions, but probably billions of the fate of humanity has just been ran by like people boning this person, this guy's daughter and
say
husband over here.
90%.
Like you start to, but it seemed like it's when I was younger, it seemed like it was like a big conspiracy, and that's like just what it looked like.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, it really does seem like it's like just reality show drama.
Yeah.
That have been like people have died for these people to just be like.
Rome fell because the guards were all blowing each other when the sacking began.
Is that true, or are
No.
you just riffing? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well,
I
it seemed
believe
logical.
it. I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten distracted by a few blowjobs. That's why you don't do roadhead when it's dark out.
Smart.
And,
Not
you don't get the credit. People don't drive by you and give you a thumbs up if it's dark. They don't know what's going on.
There's like,
Roadhead during the day, people will be like,
Genius.
"What's up, dog?" I've had people honk. I remember
for you,
a
bro.
guy in El Camino put like thumbs up and made sure I saw it. I mean, yeah, you got to do it during the day if you want your badge,
Absolutely.
right, Slaton?
Yes. Unsurprisingly.
He doesn't like having his dick sucked.
Unsurprisingly, his second marriage was unsuccessful, and she refused to return with him to the U.S. But of course, his life continued to
We
be
don't
awesome.
have good tapas. She's like, I'm staying in Spain.
This guy.
He held a number of prestigious
Paella.
positions over the next few decades, including sheriff of New York and a second stint in Congress.
This guy did not get out of the public eye, nor did he get out of power that affected our lives. This
God
is fucking
damn.
disgusting.
He served as chairman of the New York Monuments Commission, but was
Ah,
forced to
gross.
resign
The
when
Monuments Commission.
$27,000 was found to have been embezzled.
which is how much today?
I didn't do that math.
You
I
I
got
get
it.
it's like
POS.
$8 million.
No, it's not $8 million, but this is why-
$100 billion.
This is why it's Slaton's job to do that, but he...
It's a ton. done.
He doesn't like. He likes to tease me sometimes.
I bet it's $750,000. I bet
1800s, $30,000, at least at least $800,000 or $900,000 today.
Fuck.
Maybe more than that.
Sickles.
So this guy embezzled.
He embezzled
for
a lot of money.
monuments.
All right, sorry.
Sickles played an important part in preserving the battlefield at Gettysburg. He sponsored legislation to establish the park, buy up lands, and erect monuments.
Now he's a great guy.
He even
I'm all
helped
for
procure
him.
the fencing used to mark the park's borders,
Oh yeah, he probably owned the fence company.
which came from Lafayette Square, the same square where he had shot Philip Key.
Oh, so he's like jacking
Jesus.
off, like, yeah,
That's
killed that
right.
one guy and got away with it.
Look at all
It's
these sights of
Phil-
glory.
Yeah.
Of the principal senior generals who fought at Gettysburg, he is one of only a few who has not been memorialized by a statue.
Because he fucked it up and got a bunch of young men fucking killed. Right?
When asked why
Right?
there was no memorial to him, Sickles is rumored to have said, "The entire battlefield is a memorial to Dan Sickles."
Oh, what a douche.
What a spinner, dude.
Yeah,
Dude.
what a douche.
And he's also optimistic. He's
Talking
like,
about
Tony
himself in
Robbins
third
taught me to just
person.
take it and turn it into something positive.
Daniel Sickles lived out the remainder of his life in New York City and was said to be a womanizer well into his old age.
Yeah, that was his punishment for being a fucking piece of
Shocker.
shit his whole life. He got to just have a bunch of sex and probably
Keep
eat a bunch
fucking.
of croissants and have a good time.
He died on May 3rd, 1914.
We should celebrate that.
He was 94 years old.
Jesus.
See this shit? He got a bunch of young fucking people
God
killed
damn.
with his
This guy had
selfish
no
antics.
leg more than he had a leg, and he was still getting pussy
I'm fucking
the whole
mad
time.
this episode, Slaton. Can I
Yeah.
punch you or at least smack you a little?
He was buried at Arlington National
Can I
Cemetery,
pinch your nipple?
except for his right leg.
Can I kiss it?
Which is still on display.
It's still there?
at the National Medical Museum.
Oh, we're gonna go see it.
Yes, we're gonna fucking piss
Can you
on
post
that
a
thing.
picture of it on our Instagram?
We'll-
with it?
we'll find one,
On
yeah,
our
for sure.
Twitter or whatever. Yeah, please. I want to see that
Today-
leg. Let me see that leg, dog.
Approximately 1% of all U.S. court cases had the defendants using an insanity plea.
They're still using it?
Of those, only 26% have successful outcomes.
Okay, it's a very small number.
With 90% of those successful outcomes largely influenced by the defendant previously being diagnosed with a mental illness.
So
Right,
it's,
so they
it's
actually
almost
have
never.
a reason to say it.
So
It's almost never
temporary
used.
insanity really doesn't work. And even insanity is like 1% of them even use, and only a quarter of that are successful. And
And it's only because the person clearly was insane
Yeah.
beforehand. Yeah.
so there you go. That's the story and the legacy of Daniel Sickles.
Jerry's clapping. It makes me depressed to
No,
see
I'm
the
saying
society
it
go
was
this
still
way.
a good yarn.
Yeah,
was
no,
still
it
a
was,
good
oh, it was
yarn
great.
spun.
It was a great time. You're fucking
Shefsky,
rocking.
everything's
Thank
better
you.
now.
Huh?
Everything's better now. No one does anything
Yeah.
shady.
People don't-
you're right.
Everything's fair.
People don't do that anymore, and that's why I love America today. Not back then, though. No.
When did OJ get out of prison? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, we're all good.
Oh, have you seen all the memes with like the Broncos and the new Bronco? ad?
yeah.
Oh, hilarious. I
Today's-
still would love a Bronco.
Sources include Troy Taylor's American Hauntings, Eddie Deason at todayifoundout.com, Robert Wilhelm's The Bloody Century, and of
Willy
course,
Willy.
the evil robots at Wikipedia.
Hey, you know what?
Time out.
I've learned to be grateful for those
American
evil robots.
hauntings.
Yeah.
So what's the ghost in all this?
Yeah, what the fuck did you research
Is
about
it his
haunting?
leg? Does his leg
Or is it just
kind
a
of
figure of-
shake?
a figure
I
of
don't,
speech?
I actually don't. I researched this one so long ago. I don't actually remember where the hauntings are, like what that
Interesting.
what
I
that
mean,
was.
we're-
It's got to be the guy begging for his life right there in front of the White House, right? Yeah, I bet some security guard sees that at 2 a.m.
If you go there at night, you can still
Yeah.
occasionally see a handkerchief float through the air
If you
and a
look
dick
on,
fall off onto the ground.
if you look on the couch, you can still kind of see a faint crusty stain. I think the story is just haunting, just because.
Jerry Rocha, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Twitter on Rocha Comedy and then Instagram at Jerry Rocha Comedy. That's good.
ROCHA.
ROCHA. Yeah, check out my Netflix special.
Hell
It's right
yeah.
there.
Is it out
Thank
right
you.
now?
It's right now.
Fucking check it out,
As we live
fellers
and
and ladies.
breathe.
This man's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's gonna be fucking great.
It is, yeah. I do get
Check
my
it.
leg shot off in it. So
Nice.
yeah, I
Oh,
relate.
dude, he's a dedicated prop comic,
Yeah.
folks. He was maimed for this special.
Yeah.
His special called Look at My Handkerchief. You can follow our show on all the socials at CRiiiME Pod, CRiiiME Pod. You can also email us, crimepodcast@gmail.com with 1 or 3 eyes. Both will
Hey.
come to us. And you can send us any story ideas you have, questions about the show, dick pics for Shefsky, any of that sort of thing that
Hey,
you're
we
really
don't
into.
tell you dick pics.
Definitely send you dick pics. That's the reason why you do the
Guys,
show.
that's a code that Slaton's trying to say, which means please send me Richard Slaton pictures of assholes.
And please give us a 5-star rating review on
Fuck
iTunes.
yeah.
Super
Tell-
helps.
Spread the word. Tell your friends about this. This is a hell of
Tell
a
your
show.
friends. Crime with 3 eyes.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
being
coming.
here. Great.
Bye,
Fucking awesome.
robot.
Bye, guys.